Alrighty, we are live and in living color on YouTube and StreamYard. My name is Peter Goodwin. Thank you all for watching this video. Make sure you like this video, hit that subscribe button down below, and subscribe to all my other channels, which are down below in the description box. And as always, friend me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, and share this video all over the internet. And tap that bell, turn on all my notifications so you never miss an upload. All right, ladies and gentlemen, on this late Friday night, April the 24th, 2020, check out my NXT review that I just did in the description box on the Peter Goodwin YouTube wrestling channel. And that's that. So I'm gonna put that link out to people on Facebook and Twitter, so get a nice little chat going. And here we go. Hold on. All right, so I'm gonna put the Facebook chat on. All right, so it's on Facebook right now, and I'm gonna put it on Twitter in just a second. I can get to it. Here we go. All right, so it's all right. So it's there on Facebook and Twitter. So come on in, join the chat. We'll have a nice little discussion. Not too long, hopefully, because I got to work in the morning tomorrow. So, which sucks to be me, but it is what it is. So come on in, join the chat. We'll talk about Smackdown. We'll talk about Brock Lesnar being released today. After the review, and maybe some more wrestling talk, and that'll be it for the night, and that's pretty much it. So come on in, join the chat, and have fun. That's that. All right, so Smackdown so went off the air about an hour ago, and not that good. Not a good show, just a regular standard bullcrap show, mainly highlighted by the game. Triple H celebrating his 25th year in the business, which was a weird segment with HBK, Shawn Michaels, the Road Dogg, Jesse James, Stephanie, and Vince McMahon himself appearing. Probably one of the weirdest segments of the night. We also had the New Day, the new tag team champions, on the show. Some interesting things going on with the tag team division. And we had a couple of Money in the Bank qualifying matches. We had King Corbin and Drew Gulak on the men's side. And on the women's side, we had Lacey Evans and Sasha Banks, the boss. And that's that. We also had a women's tag team title match between Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross, and taking on Dana Brooke and Carmella. We had part 3 of the Jeff Hardy saga, and we're gonna get another part next week, but I'll talk about that in a minute. And so let's get into Smackdown. Let's not waste any more of your precious time, and hopefully you guys can chat about it in the chat on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, and hopefully have a nice chat. And if not, well, who cares? And we move on. All right, so we start the show off with the New Day and the new tag team champions. Their 8th title reign. We had Big E and Kofi Kingston. come out, minus Xavier Woods, because he still has that leg injury. And they come out, no pancakes flying around, just them with their tag belts and their corny-looking shirts. So they come out, both look happy. They're all revved up, and Kofi's thrilled, puts over Big E for winning the belts back for them last week. Big E says he's excited to have the girls back, the championships back. And Kofi mentions that they have more title reigns than the British Bulldogs, the Hart Foundation, the New Age Outlaws, Demolition, and Edge and Christian. And they're so happy to be so successful. And then Big E brings up that Tom Brady's now on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's all excited about that. But Kofi's like, we're not going to talk about that right now. I don't want to talk about Tom Brady and doing sexual things with the belts and all that other crap. And then out of nowhere, the Lucha house party. They come out. I think it was Lindsay Dorado and Gran Metalik. So we haven't seen Kalisto in God knows how long. So they come out. They congratulate them from the ramp. But they talk about opportunities, and they want their shot at the belts. And then the revolving door of doom comes out. Everybody comes out and starts talking about talking shit and everything. So then Miz and Morrison, hey, ho, ho. They come out, the former champs. And they're pissed off. They call the New Day fake champions, says they won in a singles match, which was kind of true. It was a singles triple threat match at WrestleMania and on SmackDown last week. Miz says that the New Day never beat them in a traditional tag team match, so they want the titles back. So then I believe Gran Metalik gets in the ring. He's like, "Cállate la boca! Cállate la boca!" And they're pissed off. They're not cool with it. And then the Forgotten Sons come out. We had Steve Cutler, Wesley Blake, and Gunner. Jackson Riker come out. So they come out. They get in the ring, and Miz is like, really? 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 Who the hell are you people? So Steve Cutler gets on the mic and introduces themselves. And, we have a little bit of a talk from Wesley Blake. From Blake. They say they served their country, but since then have been treated like absolute crap, basically in NXT. And they just debuted on Smackdown a couple weeks ago. Miz isn't impressed about that. And then Gunner calls him a Marine poser, says, "You might have been a Marine on the Marine 6, but I served my time." And then they all brawl. A big clusterfuck happens, and everybody's gets knocked down. And then the Lucha House Party go out with Miz and Morrison, and then the New Day are left in the ring with the Forgotten Sons, and the Forgotten Sons beat the crap out of them. They hit a top rope double team where I believe it was Cutler had Big E in like a dragon sleeper, and then Cutler comes off the top, stomps him right in the stomach. And then they hit a double team move on Gunner picks up Kofi Kingston and hits a powerbomb onto Big E. So we'll see what happens with that. And so we got an interesting little revolving door of crap with the tag team division. They got the New Day as champs. You got Miz and Morrison, the former champs, wanting a rematch that they really deserve. They got the Lucha House Party wanting a shot. And now the Forgotten Sons wanting a shot. And don't forget the Usos. They want a shot at the belts. So we got like 5 tag teams revolving around one belt, and we'll see what happens with that. So it looks like the Forgotten Sons will probably get the first shot, but we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that whole segment 2.5 out of 5 stars. It was all right for what it was worth. And that's that. And we'll get to the chat in a little bit. Let me finish off the review and hopefully get more people coming in. We got one person in now. So hopefully get a couple more people in the chat. And that's all I got to say about that. So like I said, 2.5 out of 5 stars for that. And we'll see what happens with all those tag teams coming up in the next coming weeks and stuff. All right, then we get various videos of the game. Triple H and its 25th year anniversary. From different parts of his career. The first one we saw Triple H's WWF debut when WWE was the WWF. Back before those damn pandas took it over. Fuck them. That was in 1995, and they show when he was Hunter Host Helmsley, the purebred guy, before he started DX with HBK back in 96, 97. Before when the Attitude Era was coming around, 97, 98. So that was nice. We see Hunter beating up guys like Bob Holly and just all the jabronis with the pedigree back in the day. That was pretty nice. We're gonna see more of that later on, and that's that. All right, then we see Renee Young backstage with Miz and Morrison as they're young, they're screaming and they're pissed off, and basically they want to face the Lucha House Party because they instigated everything. So we're gonna get a match between Miz and Morrison against the Lucha House Party later on, and we'll see what happens with that. So I gave that 2 out of 5 stars, and we're gonna move on from there, and that's that. All right, then we get to our first Money in the Bank qualifying match. On the men's side, we had King Corbin and Drew Gulak with Daniel Bryan, yes, at ringside. And we see what King Corbin did to Elias last week, messing up his hand and just basically beating the crap out of Elias. We find out that Elias suffered a broken pinky and a bruised lumbar. So, yeah, he's fucked up for a couple weeks. But I think at Money in the Bank, they're going to get a rematch between Elias and Baron Corbin. I think Elias will win again, like he did at WrestleMania. Then probably end the feud right there because basically going nowhere. And that's that. Now we got 2 people in the chat. So hopefully we get a little bit more. I want to try to get maybe between 5 and 10 people in the chat. So share the link on Facebook and Twitter, and hopefully we get more people in. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, so we get the Corbin and Gulak, and it was a pretty solid match. It was all right, and I think you kind of figured who the winner was going to be in this match, but it is what it is. So we got Daniel Bryan at ringside, like I said, and right away, Corbin's in control, dumps Gulak to the floor. Gulak comes back in, starts some ground and pound. Corbin escapes, and Gulak lays in some chops. He's in control for a little bit. Corbin comes back with some strikes, but Gulak attacks the knee and sends Corbin to the floor. Then they're on the outside, and Gulak drop kicks Corbin over the announce table and did not hit Michael Cole. Damn. We go to break, and we come back. Corbin hits the in and out clothesline for a near fall, and then starts to work on Gulak with some strikes. Gulak comes back, clears him up for a near fall. Corbin then comes back with a slam for another near fall. Lays the boost to Gulak until Gulak came back and hits a drop kick. Then he hits a sunset flip for a near fall. Goes up top, hits a crossbody as Corbin goes to the outside. Gulak goes to the outside, whips him into the steps. And then they go back in. Gulak heads up top and hits a flying clothesline for a near fall. And then out of nowhere, Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro come through from the crowd, and they start attacking Daniel Bryan, laying him out. And then Gulak goes over to make the save, but Corbin comes outside, sends him into the ring post head first, and he throws him back in, and he picks him up 1, 2, 3 with the end of days. So he gets the victory, and he goes on to Money in the Bank, joining Daniel Bryan, Rey Mysterio, Apollo Crews, and Aleister Black. So he is entrant number 5. And next week we'll have who will be the 6th and final participant in the Money in the Bank ladder match. And I'll get to that match in a little bit. And we will move on from there. So Corbin gets the win, obviously, because they have to put Corbin in again to bore us half to death in a Money in the Bank ladder match. But maybe Elias comes and distracts him and kind of takes him out of the match, and then setting up another match with them probably on Smackdown after Money in the Bank. But we'll see what happens with that. And that's that. So I gave the match 2.25 out of 5 stars, and that was that. And afterwards, Gulak gets the crap beat out of him by Nakamura, Cesaro, and Corbin. Corbin lays him out with the scepter to the throat, and that's that. And we're gonna move on from there. So you can probably expect a 6-man tag team match coming out of this, with Elias maybe coming out in the cast or something, with a cast on his pinky or something like that. We'll see what happens with that. But you might, with them, the 3 men beating up Gulak, and you have Daniel Bryan on the outside, you would think that's going to be a 6-man tag team match coming out of it. But we'll see what happens with that, and we move on from there. All right, then Mitchell Cole and Corey Graves are talking about Rob Gronkowski getting traded from the Patriots to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So he joins his little buddy Tom Brady on the Bucs. They talk about him still being the 24/7 champion, and he's heading back to the NFL. So he's kind of gonna go back and forth with the NFL and the WWE during the season, maybe. And then they were like mentioning something. How embarrassing would it be if Gronkowski scores a touchdown, and then the next thing you know, he gets rolled up in the end zone and he loses the 24/7 title in the end zone? That would be funny, actually. That would be interesting and funny. I would like to see that. But maybe somebody, maybe like the head coach of like the nine, like maybe like Kyle Shanahan comes all the way from the sideline and he hits Gronk in the nuts or something like that. And he picks up the victory and he becomes 24/7 champ. Or maybe you get like Terrell Owens or something or like Deion Sanders coming out. Or maybe like Terry Bradshaw becomes the 24/7 champion. That would be funny. Or Howie Long or Michael Strahan. Or maybe even Jake Glazler on Fox. Or maybe get Troy Aikman coming down from the announce booth. Or hopefully we will never get Joe Buck as the 24/7 champion, because that will suck. Hi, I'm Joe Buck and I annoy people. Fuck Joe Buck. Fuck him. He is so fucking annoying and boring. Not like back in the day when you had Pat Summerall and John Madden on Channel 2 and Channel 5 every week, and Channel 4 when back in the day. When back in the day when football was football. When you had the NFL Today with Brett Musburger on. Now you have the NFL Today with Phil Simms and Boomer Esiason and company, James Brown and all that. Then you have the Fox show with Terry Bradshaw, Howie Long, and company. I really don't care for either show, because I go back and forth between Channel 5 and Channel 2 for the NFL Today and Fox NFL Sunday. I rather just go to NFL Red Zone or go to the NFL Network and watch the pregame shows from there, or ESPN. NFL Prime Time with Boomer, not Boomer Esiason, but Chris Berman. That's the fucking show you gotta watch. back, he can't go all the way. That was the show to watch before and after the game, and then Monday Night Football and all that funny stuff. And that's that. Yeah. So, yeah, we'll see what happens during the season with Gronk. Sounds like something you would hear on Donkey Kong Country when you hit that big fat guy goes. That was a good game back in the day. Donkey Kong Country 1, 2, 3, whatever number they're up to now. I haven't seen a Donkey Kong game on Switch or on Nintendo in a while. I don't know if they have one on Nintendo Switch. Not that I have Nintendo Switch and I don't want it. Right now I'm playing the fuck out of Final Fantasy VII. I got up to where Sephiroth comes in. And let me tell you, he is hard. Not that kind of hard, but Sephiroth is fucking cheap in that game. Like Nemesis in Resident Evil 3 Remake. Oh boy, if you play Resident Evil 3, when you fight the Nemesis for the first time, if you play the demo, he is fucking cheap as fuck. And as many times as you try to freaking hit him shoot him in the head with the shotgun, or if you have a rocket launcher, he still cheaps you with those fucking moves of Doom. It's fucking cheap as fuck. That's that. And we had the NFL draft last night. We had round 2 tonight. I didn't care to watch it. I think round 3. I don't know if we have rounds 2 and 3 tonight, or we have just round 2. We got the rest of the rounds this weekend. So we have Roger Goodell from his house or some studio, and then we see the draft picks from their homes, which is nice. Well, it would have been better with a lot of people there, but due to this fucking virus, we can't get that. And who knows if they're going to even do it next year. Hopefully by next year, we have people can go to like a studio and an arena or, a stadium. But right now, probably not going to happen. And that fucking sucks. And that's that. And we move on from there. All right, then we get to your squash match of the week, which lasted 45 seconds. And we had Sheamus fella, the Celtic Warrior, Sheamus. He comes out and beats some jabroni named Daniel Vidot with a dot. Beats the crap out of this guy, basically saying, "I will not be disrespected. You will respect my authority." And basically beats him up, hits the brogue kick. 1, 2, 3, lays this jabroni out. And Daniel Vidot was 20 some odd years old. Or whatever, however old he is. He's done. Go back to NXT or developmental or whatever indie company you came from. He's dead. Fuck him. Good night. Thank you for watching. So Sheamus beats him up. Match I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. Your squash match of the week, and that's that. And he continues his later on. I'll get to it in a minute. Where Sheamus gets involved with the whole Jeff Hardy saga, and that brings me to the Jeff Hardy saga. We get to chapter 3. Well, first week we had the rise of the Hardy Boys. Last week we had the fall of Jeff Hardy. This week we get the redemption, and it was pretty good, talking about, Jeff Hardy after his whole drug bust and all the thing, talking about how he changed for his daughters and his family because he didn't want them to see him how he was. And then we see the Hardy Boys coming back at WrestleMania 33 in Orlando, Florida, doing that fatal 4-way ladder match for the Raw Tag Team belts when they surprisingly became, well, not surprisingly, because we knew they were coming to WWE back then, 2017, when they were doing that whole procure of the tag team belts around the country. They won the TNA tag belts, and they won the AAA tag belts. Then they won the Ring of Honor tag team belts from the Bucks. We all remember that. And then they lost it to the Bucks at Supercard of Honor. Then the next night they're in they're at WrestleMania. Everybody was shocked, and then they win the belts for the I believe the 8th time or the 7th time. And then they held them for a little bit, and then both of them, Jeff got hurt. Matt went into Jobber City. He tried to be Broken Matt Hardy, yes, but that didn't work. And then he won the tag belts with Bray Wyatt. And I thought it was going to go somewhere, then kind of fizzled out. So they talk about the Mania pop for the Hardys when they return. And then they win in the belts, blah, blah, blah. So next week, we're going to get the comeback of Jeff Hardy after his little elbow, I believe it was his elbow or his knee injury. So we're going to get the comeback of Jeff Hardy video next week on SmackDown. So that should be pretty nice. So I gave the video 3 out of 5 stars. And that's that. Let me move on from there. All right. After that, we get the next game, Triple H moment, which is the invasion of WCW back in 1998, I believe. And they were supposedly on a tank, even though it was a fucking Jeep. And they basically, that was the start of the Monday Night War. They fired the first shot, and the rest is history. If you follow the Attitude Era from 96 to like 99, early 2000, when WCW was killing WWE, and then Vince McMahon had no other choice but to kick the ever-loving crap out of the WWE, and says that the WWE needs to have more attitude. And then the Attitude Era started for the WWE with The Rock and Stone Cold and The Undertaker and company. DX, the corporate ministry, the union, stuff like that. Mick Foley getting the title, Triple H getting the titles, Undertaker and Stone Cold and all that other good stuff. The Rock, SummerSlams and other that. That's probably the best time. Well, besides the golden era of the WWE with Hulk Hogan brother and Macho Man 87, oh yeah. The new generation era kind of sucked with Psycho Sid and Bret Hart, and then later on with the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels. Then then the Attitude Era came, and then right after that was the Ruthless Aggression Era, which was pretty good. And then right after that, you had the PG Era, which was horrible. Thanks to John Cena, who almost killed WWE. Now you had the new era, new / reality era. For a year or so now, I think we're in the indie era. Some people calling it the indie era because a lot of indie stars from the NXT, stuff like that. So now we're in the indie era of WWE, and who knows what's going to happen after that. That's that, and we'll see what happens with that. So so get that moment from Triple H, and that was pretty nice. We'll get more later on. Then we go back to ringside. We were supposed to start the next match, but then we see Sheamus. You see Michael Cole talking with Corey Graves, and Corey Graves is like, over there, dude. And then we see Sheamus, and Sheamus just like looming over Michael Cole. Michael Cole's like a little fucking bitch. And he's like, "Don't hurt me, Sheamus. Don't hurt me. I'm just an announcer." And Sheamus just yanks off the headset, just rips it apart, and then he leaves. That was that. So Michael Cole wet his pants, or shit his pants. Who knows what happened to him? I was waiting for freaking Sheamus to throw him in the ring, hit him with a bro kick, knock the fucking taste out of his mouth. So we'll be out without Michael Cole for the rest of the show. So we'll hear from maybe Corey Graves, or maybe we'll get Tom Phillips on the show. You know, it'd be nice if we had Mauro on the show, but Mauro's self-isolating. I don't know what Mauro Ranallo's doing right now. We don't have Beth Phoenix. We don't have Nigel, because Nigel's stuck in England. So we're not going to get a real NXT for a long time. Because now we have NXT with Byron Saxton and Tom Phillips, which is fucking boring. But hopefully by the summertime, we'll get Mauro and Beth Phoenix. But not that I care about Beth fucking Phoenix, but we get them back with Nigel coming back. And then we have a better sounding NXT commentary team. Right now, it's boring with Tom Phillips and Byron Saxton. It's even more boring with them on Smackdown. Not Smackdown, Raw, excuse me. Commentary is just boring. Raw, Smackdown, NXT, pay-per-views are just fucking boring. That's why you need guys like me and Joe Cronin and JD on commentary, because we can tell a story. We can give you, excitement. If you throw Scott Casey-Gill in there too, as a backstage interviewer. You know, the WWE needs to hire guys like me, JD, and Joe Cronin and Scott Casey-Gill to the WWE or AEW. More, I would rather work for AEW and Cody. Just saying. If you get rid of Justin Roberts, I'll do the announcing. Not the ring announcing, or get maybe you have Joe Cronin and JD on commentary with Jim Ross. Get rid of Schiavone, and get rid of Excalibur, get rid of Taz. They'll make it more exciting. We make it a lot of money. Tony Khan will give me a lot of money than I already have now. I can get out of my debt working for AEW. Fulfill my dreams. Joe Cronin's dream and JD's dream and everybody else's dream of maybe working in either the WWE, Ring of Honor, or AEW. That's that. We all have a dream, and we like to chase our dreams. I wanted to work in music. I got to do that. Still doing it. Right now I'm kind of off, but I'm doing the music shit, because I'm doing the essential stuff now, making my money that you wish you had. And that's that. That's all I got to say about that. All right, so Sheamus comes out and harasses Michael Cole for talking about Jeff Hardy again. I was waiting for him to kick his ass, but that didn't happen. All right, then we get to Miz and Morrison taking on the Lucha House Party of Lince Dorado and Gran Metalik. And kind of a 5-minute suck fest, but still a pretty decent match. And basically setting up which might be either a fatal 4-way for the tag belts, or maybe a triple threat for the tag belts, or maybe just a fatal 5-way. Who knows? With the Usos thrown in, just a revolving smorgasbord of the lame ass fuck SmackDown tag team division. So, like I said, the match was all right. It's also with Miz and Lince Dorado. Dorado controls early on. Miz cuts him off. Tags in Morrison. They double team Lince Dorado for a while. Morrison follows with some kicks, but Dorado comes back with an arm drag. Tags in Gran Metalik. They double team Morrison for a little bit for a near fall. Morrison comes back, cuts off Dorado. Miz tags in. They work. Double teams over him. Quick in and out tags. Just textbook tag team wrestling 101. You get no fall out of that. Morrison then follows with some ground and pound until Lince Dorado counts into the golden rewind, whatever that is. Miz comes in, but Metallic falls with a high cross body, some kicks, then a reverse sling blade. But he goes for the moonsault, and Miz gets his feet up. And it looked like Miz was going to go for the skull-crushing finale, but Grand Metallic counts into a inside cradle 1925, circa 1925. Clears him up 1, 2, 3. Lucha House Party pick up a upset win over Miz and Morrison, which kind of sucked, but it is what it is. So they get the win, get some momentum going for them in this tag team division. But a pretty strong match. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. And that's that. And we'll see what happens with the tag teams division next week on SmackDown and in the weeks to come. It would have been nice to have a tag team Money in the Bank ladder match, but of course that's not going to happen. And that's that. And like I said, I'll get to the chat in a little bit. But get the word out and share the link on Facebook and Twitter, and maybe on Instagram too if you want. And that's that. I don't have Instagram, so I don't want Instagram. But it is what it is. So we get that. All right, after that, we get to the women's side of the Money in the Bank qualifying match. We had, I believe this is the fifth participant in the women's side of the women's ladder match. The women's ladder match. We had Lacey Evans, classy Lacey Evans, taking on the boss, Sasha Banks, with Bayley at ringside, showing her stuff and all that other good stuff. Match was pretty decent. It was all right, not bad. Started with Sasha attacking off the distraction from Bayley at the start. They go to the floor. Sasha sends Lacey into Lacey's right hand into the ring post. So she was working on that for most of the match. They go back in. Sasha comes from their fall, starts laying the boots to Lacey, and then starts attacking the injured hand. But Lacey comes back, hits some clotheslines and a running kick. Then they go back and forth countering each other. And then Sasha sends Lacey's hand into the ring post once again. Then she goes up top, hits Meteor for a near fall. There's some ground and pound. And then Lacey comes back, sends Sasha into the turnbuckles. Then she sends Sasha into the ring post a bunch of times. Then she goes up top. Sasha meets her. Goes for a superplex. Sasha counters out of it. Starts attacking the hand. She slips out and falls with a powerbomb for a near fall. Then she locks in the bank statement and looked like she was about to go onto Money in the Bank. But Lacey escaped, hits a desperation women's right, knocking Sasha out. She goes for the cover 1, 2, but Bayley puts Sasha's foot on the ropes. And Bayley causes a distraction. And then Sasha rolls up Lacey. But the referee was distracted with Bayley, and Sasha had Lacey down for about a 6 or 7 count. And then she starts arguing with the referee. Referee's like, I had to deal with Bayley, leave me alone. Then out of nowhere, boom! Women's right by Lacey knocks Sasha out again. And she hits the 1, 2, 3. So Lacey Evans picks up the victory, and she moves on to the Money in the Bank ladder match, joining Dana Brooke. Who else is in that match? Asuka, Shayna Baszler. And I believe that's it. Asuka, Shayna from Raw. Dana Brooke and Lacey Evans from SmackDown. I believe there's another one. Oh, Nia Jax on the SmackDown side. So we're going to get one more participant next week for the men and women on SmackDown. So we'll see what on the SmackDown side. So we'll see what happens with that. Should be some pretty decent matches, but we'll see what happens with that. But this match was all right. Continuously Bayley Sasha breakup. We're just gonna lead into a match probably at SummerSlam or the next pay-per-view, whenever that is. And that's that. And yeah, so that's it. So the match was all right. I gave it 2.25 out of 5 stars. So Lacey Evans goes on to Money in the Bank, and we'll see what happens with her in that match. And the other ladies in that match at Money in the Bank coming up in just 2 weeks from Sunday. And that's pretty much it. Afterwards, Sasha and Bailey go up to the ramp. And then Tamina comes out and hits a super kick to Bailey, knocking her out. And Sasha just looks like, ooh. Sasha just looks on, not doing a single solitary thing besides looking hot. And that's that. And we're gonna move on from there. So 2.25 out of 5 stars for that match. And like I said, Lacey moves on, and we'll see what happens next week on SmackDown with the final Money in the Bank qualifying matches in the men's and women's side. And that's that. All right, then we get a video package of the history between Bray Wyatt and Braun Strowman, and we see Bray coming in as Bray Wyatt with the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Now both of them are gone. We all know Luke Harper is the Exalted One, Brody Lee, and AEW, basically doing a Mr. McMahon gimmick and really knocking it out of the park. The matches he's been in is fucking jobber matches. Probably going to be joined by Eric Rowan. He's going to be the next member of the Dark Order, most likely. But he has a 90. All the people that left that got released have a 90-day non-compete clause. So we're not going to see them until the summertime. So the Revival won't be around until probably before All Out to face the Bucks for the titles, maybe. Who knows? Somebody like Brody, like Eric Rowan, he's gone. Rusev's gone. Aiden English is gone. No Way Jose's gone, but I don't give two shits about him. Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins are done. Hawkins is doing Wrestle Pro and Creator Pro. Well, really Creator Pro in Long Island with his students and everything. So he's going to be doing that when we get to hopefully having people at the arenas and the indie shows. But we'll see what happens with that, and we move on from there. And that's that. So we got a nice video of that. So I gave that 2.5 out of 5 stars. Then we got another video catching up on the drama between Mandy Rose, Dolph Ziggler, Otis, and Sonya Deville. We get all that. We got what happened last week with Sonya hitting Mandy in the face, with Dolph getting involved, and Otis comes out, beats up Dolph Ziggler and whips his ass. And that's that. So next week on the program, we got Mandy Rose and Carmella in the final women's Money in the Bank ladder qualifying match. I think you know who might win that one. Probably be that girl named Carmella. Because the whole thing with Mandy, Otis, Dolph, and Sonya is going to turn into a tag team match. Probably get Money in the Bank anyway. Or maybe on SmackDown. Who knows? So we got Mandy and Carmella in the women's qualifying match. And then in the men's qualifying match, we have Dolph Ziggler taking on Otis. So we get the rematch from WrestleMania with that. So that should be pretty exciting. I think Dolph is going to win that. I wouldn't be surprised if they put Otis in, but I think Dolph's going to be the logical choice. So if you want that tag team match, it's probably going to be on SmackDown. It's not going to be Money in the Bank. So whatever I said doesn't matter on that one. And that's it for that. And we move on from there. And also next week, we got Daniel Bryan taking on Baron Corbin. Should be an exciting match. Yeah, so next week looks to be kind of boring too. And that's pretty much all I got to say about that. All right, then we go to the back. We see Carmella warming up for her and Dana Brooks match against the women's tag team champions, Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross. So she's warming up, stretching and stuff. And then Dana Brooke comes in and she's like, "Hey, girl." And then Carmella tells Dana that, her Money in the Bank win, qualifying win over Naomi last week kind of inspired her to, and her Money in the Bank ladder match next week against Mandy. So we'll see what happens with that. And they're just, just a hype video for the women's tag team title match coming up. And that's that. And we move on from there. And that's that. So I give that 2 out of 5 stars. All right, then we get the next Triple H moment. This one is his return from injury at Madison Square Garden, which he got a thunderous ovation when he came out. Thunderous ovation. I wasn't there, but I watched it on TV. I wish I was there at MSG, but when he came out, the crowd went ballistic. And then he announced that he's back. He's going to enter the Royal Rumble. He won it that year. That was the year that him and Stone Cold were the tag team champions, the 2-man power trip. They lost to Jericho and Chris Benoit on that great Monday Night Raw where Triple H tore his quad and still finished the match. And then we saw the recovery of Triple H after that. And that was that. And then he comes back in January of, I don't even remember what year it was. I think it was 2000. Somewhere in the 2000s, I believe. 2002, 2003, somewhere around there. So he comes back, wins the Royal Rumble, goes on to WrestleMania, defeats Chris Jericho, who was the undisputed world champion. He had both belts, the WWE belt and the big WCW belt with him. He beats him, wins the belt. He goes on for a while as champ. So that was that. So it was pretty nice to see that. And we're going to move on from there. And yeah, that's that. All right, then we get to our next match for the women's tag team titles. We had the champs Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross taking on Dana Brooke and Carmella. Match was kind of dull and boring and just slow and just fucking horrible. You know, starts out with Dana Brooke and Carmella taking control on Nikki Cross as they all go to the floor. Come back because they went fast and furious at the bell. Carmella and Dana Brooke hit dives on the outside to both Alexa and Nikki as we go to break. We come back. Carmella's in control, working over Alexa. Nikki makes the save on a pin attempt. And then Dana takes out Nikki on the floor. Alexa then cuts off Carmella, goes up top. Nikki tags in as Carmella hits the head scissors takeover. And then they're beating up Carmella for a while. Carmella bounces back. But in the end, the champions hit a double team DDT to retain. It kind of looked like they were going for the 3D. So Nikki picks her up and Alexa goes boom with the DDT. That was pretty impressive. So that was the only thing about the match that was actually good. But the match looked sloppy. Just like they couldn't execute anything. It just looked really sloppy. So match I gave 1.5 out of 5 stars. Just horrible. You know, it started off okay with the beginning of the match was okay with going fast and furious on the outside and Carmella and Dana Brooke taking out the champs with the dives and everything. That was pretty nice. And then they go in and the match just like fell apart. Just fucking horrible. And that's that. And we're gonna move on from there. So 1.5 out of 5 stars out of that, and that was it for that. Fuck that shit. We used to have a main event, if you want to call it that. And that's that. All right, then we get to the end of the night with the 25th anniversary celebration of the game, Triple H. So he comes out with some water, and he's about to do the whole, water spitting thing that we all know from Triple H. But then some guy steals his water. He's like, "What the fuck?" He can't do the water. that was messed up. So he gets in the ring, gets the mic. He says he can't believe it's been 25 years in the business. And then we get the Heartbreak Kid, Shawn Michaels, coming out. The old fart that he is. Both of them have old man beards. Because I think both of them are in their 50s right now. God bless them. So Shawn says Triple H couldn't do it without him. He puts Triple H over, reminds Triple H about social distancing. He says, if you're not down with that, I got 2 words for you. And he says, they kind of hug, and then Sean's like, social distancing, and then they make fun of social distancing and shit like that. I was like, okay, you just hugged each other and you're talking about social distancing now. Now probably both of you got the virus. We'll figure. Who knows? So so Sean sent out about hundreds of invitations, and they're all here for him. And Hunter's like looking around, and there's nobody there. And then Hunter's like, well, all we have is Chloe Grace and Michael Cole, and they're like, hi kids, hi Hunter, hey, hi Hunter, how much cock can I suck later? You want to suck the cock of the game? Look at that. That was kind of weird. And it shows that they've been friends for the past 25 years. He thanks Hunter for the HBK 25th anniversary show on Smackdown. And then Hunter's like, wait a minute. What happened? It was like so many memories on that show, and Hunter's like, yeah, I remember it well. And he's like, there wasn't one, you idiot. But he's not angry about it. He says there was supposed to be one, and we'll deal with it when he gets back to the office, and heads are gonna roll. Then they reminisce about DX, which leads to some not so great moments in DX history with them botching their lines and stuff, which was kind of funny. I thought they talk about Triple H, his Mania career. Basically, his losses at WrestleMania. I think he's had like 11 or 12 losses at WrestleMania. Losing to The Undertaker twice, losing to Daniel Bryan, losing to Jericho, winning from Jericho. Losing to Daniel Bryan, losing to the Ultimate Why at WrestleMania 10. I think it was WrestleMania 10. I forget what year that was. But what WrestleMania was. It was what. So basically show Hunter's lowlights from WrestleMania, his shit record at the event. Then he started joking around. Triple H thanks all the great talent he had to work with: Austin, Rock, Hogan, blah 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 blah. And then HBK brings up Stephanie. He says that Triple H married Stephanie No Fun. And then out of nowhere, Hunter's phone rings. It goes doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. And she gets on the phone, FaceTiming him, and she's pissed. It's like, what did he say? What did he say? And Hunter's like, he didn't say anything. He didn't say anything. And it was kind of a funny FaceTime video. And HBK was mocking her the whole time. And Stephanie says she can. It's like, I see what you're doing. Well, on live TV, you idiot. That was funny. It was kind of wacky, just all over the place, right? At this point. So, and they talk Ric Flair, and then woo, Ric Flair comes on the call, and he starts talking about Hunter and HBK, making him cry. And then we get another call from the Road Dogg, but then we go to commercial. Why? Should have been no commercial interruption. So we don't know who called. And then we find out, we come back, and it's the Road Dogg. And Road Dogg says, I just got a haircut. That was funny. He calls Triple H a Chia pet for him chopping off his hair. And then Triple H's like, I gotta go. He hangs up on him. And then HBK brings up the whole Katie Vick storyline, where with HBK, Hunter and Kane, and then him basically having necrophiliac sex with a mannequin, and he's like, "What's that? Oh my god, I really did fuck your brains out." That was funny. Remember that? And then he's like more serious, and he's like, congratulations on 25 years. And he's like, I hug you under normal circumstances, but people all over the world are appreciating and would be cheering. You know, I wish they were here. Well, the family in the front row, while the rest chant boring. This is when Vince comes out, and he congratulates him, like I said. And then Vince starts talking about the gobbledygooker. For some reason, I was like, wait a minute, the gobbledygooker was Triple H? I don't even know who was under that damn thing. So I was kind of getting like, wait a minute, Triple H was the gobbledygooker? Okay. You know, then he mentions the Undertaker a little bit in that Survivor Series where the gobbledygooker debuted, and he's talking about the egg hatching and blah blah blah. And he says Triple H wasn't that bad. Brings up the Katie Vick thing again, and he's like, I had no idea why you did that. And then we saw it have been like the Bailey, this is your life segment, which was fucking horrible. The worst segment in the history of the sport. And then he says he loves him. He even loves Shawn. Then he started making fun of their last match, calling it rotten and a shame. He's like, well, it's like, I'm gonna leave now. So he leaves, and then Hunter is all down to Hunter and HBK in the ring. And then the lights start shutting off. And at this point, Cole and Corey Graves left. So the lights shut off, and Hunter's like, "You're really gonna shut us down? You're really gonna shut us down?" And then the lights go off, and then we see the thing on the screen, the logo on the screen, and then we hear crickets, and they're still talking on the mic. So that ends that segment. So it's very funny and wacky at times, and it would have been better with a crowd, to be in my eyes. You know, like most of the segments would have been, but still funny. I gave it 3.25 out of 5 stars for that, and just crazy fucking shit. And that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So that's it for SmackDown. And like I said, it was kind of a meh show. Nothing really great. From start to finish, it was kind of bland. I mean, the only thing that saved the show from utter failure was the Triple H segment with HBK and Vince and Stephanie and Flair and Road Dogg. That's the only thing that saved the show from basically getting a really bad rating for me. But still, the show was kind of meh. And that's that. So I gave SmackDown 6 out of 10 stars. And I don't know what you guys gave it, what you think you have. Let me know in the chat. And that's all I got to say about SmackDown. It's kind of boring, and we're going to see what happens next week on the show with the final Money in the Bank qualifying matches. Dolph Ziggler and Otis, and we got Mandy Rose and Carmella. And we also have Baron Corbin against Daniel Bryan next week. Probably get more with the tag team division. We'll see what happens with that. And that's it as we get closer and closer to Money in the Bank in 2 weeks. And it's already taped, so we already know who the Money in the Bank winners are, but we're not going to find out until Sunday, May 10th. And I can already tell you it's going to be Aleister Black and Shayna Baszler. That's what I think. Shayna's a lock. Shayna's a lock to win the Money in the Bank, women's Money in the Bank ladder match. On the men's side, I'm thinking it's going to be Aleister Black, but you know, I would not be surprised if it's Rey Mysterio. It's not going to be Apollo Crews. And it's not going to be Daniel Bryan on the SmackDown side. It's not going to be Daniel Bryan. It's not going to be Baron Corbin. Hopefully not. I don't want him to win for a second time. It'll just be fucking boring, and he'll lose again when he cashes in. And that's all I can say about that. So, like I said, SmackDown gets 6 out of 10 stars. We'll see what happens next week on Raw and SmackDown next week in NXT. So, not a great week for the WWE in terms of their shows this week. So we'll see what happens next week on the show. And that's all I got to say about that. All right, let's consult the chat. And we have Scott Casey Gale and Nick Infante in the chat. Hopefully get more people. I'm gonna put the stream out for another 15, 20 minutes. Hopefully get more people in, and we'll see what happens with that. All right, let's start the chat. Scott says, I was hoping for Sheamus to beat up Michael Cole, and I was too. I was hoping for Michael Cole to get this just bro kicked out into hell because he's fucking boring. He is fucking boring. But I think you can see my little pimple on my fucking face. But that's that. And we move on from there. Yeah, so maybe next week we'll get Michael Cole beaten up. I'm hoping. I would like to have Byron Saxton get beat up too, but got to hear from his boring voice every Monday and Wednesday night. I miss Morrow. I miss Nigel. I really don't miss Beth Phoenix all that much because fuck her. And that's all I can say about that. And then we get that. And then Nick says that would make the NFL more interesting to talk about Gronk and his 24/7 title. He says, imagine out of nowhere Eli Manning shows up and pins Gronk. Oh, fuck Eli Manning. Fuck him. I fucking hate Eli Manning. I hate the Giants. Fuck the Giants, man. It's all about the Niners. That too. That's what I think of the Giants. Fart City right there. So fuck Eli Manning. And that's that. Then he says, then Peyton shows up, hugs Eli, kicks him in the dick, and pins him. No, Archie Manning will win the 24/7 title from Eli and Peyton. Archie Manning will get the 24/7 title. Then he kills over, and that's that. And then Gronk gets it back somehow. I don't know. And then imagine John Madden winning the 24/7 title. That would be funny, but we're getting another Madden this year, Madden 2K21 or whatever, Madden 21. They're saying that Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens is going to be the cover guy. Oh, you know what that means? The Ravens might be bad this year. Let's hope. But I think they're going to be, them and the Chiefs are going to probably be in the AFC title game next season. And, as much as I hate both teams. I hope both teams can't get beat in the playoffs, so we don't have to see them in the Super Bowl. Because I'm picking the Niners again for the NFC. I think they'll run away. They're not going to run away with the division, but they'll do pretty good. I think they're going to get maybe 10 to 12 wins in the in their. They'll probably get 10 to 12 wins. Probably a couple wins in the division. Arizona sucks. The Rams suck, even though they're rebuilding. Seattle is still Seattle. They give us fits every fucking year. So I think, the Niners will win the division again. Probably, like I said, 10 to 12 wins. You got to deal with the Saints. You got to deal with the Packers. Even though the Packers really fucked up their draft. Oh, boy. They gave Rodgers the franchise tag. So Rodgers is still going to be their quarterback for another 2-3 years. Basically got Favre. Draft wasn't even that exciting, to be honest with you. And the Niners got a couple good picks. They got a linebacker and they got another wide receiver. Like, we need more wide receivers, but in the first round. So that was pretty nice. They filled the holes that they did with Buckner and Emmanuel Sanders leaving. Sanders went, I think, to the I forget where he went. I know he got traded to somewhere, but I forgot where. I think the Ravens, so I'm not even sure, but I forgot where he went. And then Buckner got released. I think he got traded too. So he filled up their holes. We got a couple other guys as well, coming back. So basically, most of the core of the team from last year is coming back. Kittle, Garoppolo, Mostert, Breida, Richard Sherman's coming back for another year. I still worry about the secondary a little bit, but the wide receiver core is going to be pretty good with Debo and the new guy they got, Akins, I think his name is. I think his name is Jay Akins. I don't remember his name, but I'm supposed to be a 49er guy. I'm supposed to know everything. I'm not it is what it is. And that's that. So let me just take a moment to wet my whistle. So all you guys in the chat, Scott and Nick, here's to you. That's that. Yeah, so so I mean, who knows what the Niners this season? Who knows what's going to happen with this with the NFL this season? If it's going to be in empty stadiums or with limited amount of people, maybe at most maybe 100 people, maybe I want to go beyond 250. I would think about maybe 500 people at most, which sucks. Those people, we got a whole bunch of season ticket holders around the NFL. They want to, what are they going to do? What's going to happen with that? We're not going to get like 70,000 people at a stadium until next year, depending on the second wave of this fucking virus when it happens in October. The NFL might close down by that time. We'll probably get a shortened NFL season. Who knows? I'm hoping we get a full season, a full 16-week season of the NFL. But we'll get that, and who knows? Hockey may be coming back in July. I don't know why. I don't know why you want to finish off the season in July, and then you got an off season of August, and you come back in late September for the starting training camp and the preseason games, and they're not going to have a lot of people in the stands when hockey season and college basketball and college football come back, and schools will probably be reopened in September. Who knows what's going to happen in the fall and the winter? And we know we're going to get a second wave of this fucking virus. Georgia opened its door, reopened today. Texas, I think, is opening up on Monday. And some other states may be reopening next week. Here in the Northeast, we're not going to reopen until June, if at all. It's supposed to be waiting until May 15th, which is another 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks away. So I don't know what's going to happen on May 15th. What the governor and the mayor are going to do? If they might reopen New York, but with some restrictions in place. They'll probably open some small businesses. But I think New York City won't officially open until maybe the summer, by June or July. I don't know. It's gonna be this. already almost 5 months into this fucking year, and it's just been fucking hectic and just horrible. And I want the year to end already. I want it to be December 31st, 2020, and we're ringing in the new year and get rid of this fucking virus. We're not gonna be talking about it in 2021. We start gearing up for WrestleMania in Los Angeles. Football stadiums getting packed with fans, and baseball stadiums getting packed with fans, and wrestling shows galore around the country with fans in the stands, and back to normal. But we're gonna get that anytime soon? Probably not. There was a story from that Dick Licker Sean's Entertainment say that the WWE is going to have fans in the stands at the Performance Center. Yeah. Yeah, right. That's not going to happen. I don't know what's up with Florida right now, if they're going to reopen it. I mean, they opened the beaches. And I still think that they're getting cases by every fucking day, because these idiots are on the beach right now getting a nice tan. All right, I would love to be there at this moment. Right now, I don't want to be on the beach as much as I do in the summertime. I want to be on the beach getting a nice tan and enjoying myself. But the world we live in, we can't do it right now. Maybe next summer, I'm hoping we'll definitely get people on the beaches here in the Northeast and around the country. That's all I can say about that. But yeah, that's that. All right, let's consult the chat some more before we end up shots. 12:25, and I'm gonna try to go to bed in the next hour or so. Nick says Chris Berman used to host the NFL draft with Mel Kiper Jr. Yeah, I do remember that. Now it's different people from ESPN doing it. Yeah, I miss Chris Berman on that show, and he I don't think he still does NFL primetime. I think he does every once in a while, but I think he's kind of like retired from all that stuff. So we don't. I miss Chris Berman on ESPN on doing baseball. Doing the home run derby. Back, go. And he could go all the way, and all these different names he would give people, like Barry U.S. Bonds, I should say. He was he's a funny fucking guy. I don't know how old he is, but bless his heart. And that's all I got to say about that. And yeah, so Chris Berman could be 24/7 champion for all we care. That would be funny. I'm the 24/7 champ. We get that. So yeah. And that's that. Nick says it was an okay show. Yeah, Smackdown was like I said, just a mediocre, boring as fuck show. The Triple H segment kind of saved it. That was that. And yeah, that's that. Hector Guerrero was the gobbledygooker. Oh, I didn't know that. So something I knew. I learned something every day. So I learned something today. That Hector Guerrero was the gobbledygooker. So that's pretty much it for that. All right, before I end the video, I want to talk a little bit about Brock Lesnar getting released today, and that was a kind of a shock. Not much of a shock, but he got released, so we're not going to see him in WWE for a while. I mean, his contract ended after WrestleMania anyway. I thought he might have got a rematch with Drew McIntyre, but that's probably not going to happen. Is Brock going to come back to WWE? Maybe, maybe not. I really don't care at this point. I hope he doesn't. but you never know in the world of professional wrestling. Never say never. If MVP can come back, Brock can come back. Goldberg came back. Sting came back. Sting's not back officially yet, but Sting might be coming back. So Brock being released, I'm happy for it, and we're not to see Brock on our TV, boring us half to death, and hijacking the Universal or the WWE title, holding it for 300 days and not defending it once, except for on certain pay-per-views. So we're not going to get that. We're going to actually have a fighting champion that shows up almost every week. So we'll see what happens with that. And that's that. And what else did I want to say? I forget what else I was going to say now. That was in the news today. Yeah, Brock's gone. Released. AEW was announced as an essential business, so they're going to be doing live shows again in June. Well, probably the end of May into June. So we got that. So that's pretty nice. I still think they're going to do live shows from wherever they're doing it right now. I think it's QT Marshall's place right now. They're doing the live shows, the tape shows and live shows from. They're going to be doing the live shows from. Unless they find another place. Who knows? Which Georgia is now open. So I would assume that the NWA can start doing some tapings. Not in front of a crowd, but... So the NWA might be coming back with some new content. Who knows with that? Maybe some indie shows in the South might be starting up. Not here in the Northeast. Probably won't get any till maybe the end of the summer into the fall and maybe the winter. Who knows? I would love to go to a WOW show again, but I don't know when they're coming back until this fucking virus ends and we can reopen the city. And in Jersey too. It just fucking sucks, and that's all I gotta say about that. And kind of lagging a little bit, so I apologize for that. So yeah, I mean, that's all I gotta say. Let's look up maybe some news on NoDQ.com and see if anything important happened besides Brock Lesnar getting released. Give me get that. Hold on a second. Deonna Purrazzo might be going to AEW, joining that women's division. And we get that. That should be, Deonna Purrazzo's okay. I think she could go back to Ring of Honor. And that's that. All right, so we're talking about AEW doing live shows in June and then being considered an essential business. They're going to go back to Daly's place where they were doing their live shows in Jacksonville, Florida. Dave Meltzer says, while this could also change depending on the circumstances and they have enough tape shows to last 7 more weeks, the plan right now is for AEW to go back either weekly or more often starting on the May 6th edition of Dynamite from Daly's place in Jacksonville. And that's going to be the build towards Double or Nothing pay-per-view. And some of the people that were not on the tapings are going to be back, like Moxley. Well, I think Moxley, not Moxley. Maybe some other guys that haven't appeared on the show. And we get that, and they're not going to air those things like the Scorpio Sky thing. That's not going to happen anymore. They're not going to tape these minute by minute things because the ratings are not so good with it. So who knows with that? And that's that. We also had Triple H actually came out today and said that WrestleMania might be 2 nights going forward. I really don't want. I want WrestleMania just be one night. 2 nights is kind of overkill. But who knows what's going to happen with WrestleMania 37 at this point? If it's going to even happen at Silo Field in Los Angeles, who knows what's going to happen? And that's that. And yeah, that was that. So, here you guys want to chime in? You can. I'm going to be here for another couple minutes, but Rob Gronkowski was supposed to be a big part in the promotion of SummerSlam, which is going to be in the TD Garden Arena in Boston, which is still they still have it on, but who knows what's going to happen with Boston right now in the next coming months. So SummerSlam might be taped at the Performance Center, or maybe in Boston or somewhere else. Who knows? They actually wanted Gronk to wrestle a match at SummerSlam, but now that he's going back to football, we don't know what's going to happen with him. So he's still the 24/7 champ, and that's that. And we're gonna move on from there. Velveteen Dream came out on Twitter saying that he said some mean stuff on Twitter. He says, "Be assured I did not communicate inappropriately with anyone. A private photo of mine was shared without my consent or knowledge. I am working with a third party to look into the matter." Like somebody hacked his account, and there's a picture of the Dream with his dick, a dick pic of the Dream. So that was that. So Velveteen Dream kind of played it off, and they had a video on it, and that was that. So Velveteen Dream's kind of getting trolled online, like many of the other WWE superstars and women, and that's that. Dustin Rhodes wants the U.S. to shut down the end. He wants the economy and the states to reopen. So I kind of agree with him. He says the world needs to open back up and end this mass hysteria. We are not a socialist nation. We are not a democracy. We are a republic. If we go on any longer with this BS, our economy will be shot and that much harder to kickstart. # end the shutdown. So that was that. So hopefully we get the country back up and running in the next 2 to 4 weeks. And that's that. Triple H, besides talking about WrestleMania maybe being 2 nights from here on out, he also talked about not ever competing in a Money in the Bank ladder match. Let me see where we said that. Hold on a second. He says, "I have no desire to climb a high ladder and get pushed off of it. There are certain guys that are built for ladders and guys who are, and I'm not one of them. My ladder matches have normally involved me whacking someone with it or getting whacked with it a lot. So climbing and falling off is not my forte. Basically built around an additional match at WrestleMania. I really just had these other stories going on where I was never sort of involved in it." So yeah, so Hunter, you would see like Shelton Benjamin in the Money in the Bank ladder match and guys like that. Now Seth Rollins, Rey Mysterio, Kalisto, Sheamus, guys like that in the Money in the Bank, more high flyers. Like, you know, and maybe not. I don't think AJ would ever be in it. Like Ricochet. You know, I don't know why Apollo Crews is in it, but they're hyping him up for it. They're pushing him to the moon, but push off a ladder most likely. But who knows what's going to happen with that? That's basically it for that. So, you know, that's why Triple H was never in the Money in the Bank ladder match, because, you know, it's not his style, and he didn't want to hurt himself. And that's about it for that. So that's it for my video. Thank you all for watching. Thank you, Scott and Nick, for chiming in the chat. And hope you guys are on my next stream, whatever that may be. Might be on Monday night with my Raw review, or maybe this weekend. I don't know. Depends what's going on in the world tomorrow and Sunday. Nothing really important to talk about this weekend, but we'll see what happens tomorrow and Sunday. And then we get revved up for Monday Night Raw for the new week with new action. We'll see what happens on Raw with Drew McIntyre and Seth Rollins. Are going to have a contract signing, and as you know, during a contract signing, it always ends with a fight or somebody going through a table. So we'll see what happens. I would assume Jerry the King Lawler is going to moderate that. Well, I hope it's Byron Saxon, so he gets his ass handed to him, but you can only hope. So that's that on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be the main focus of Raw. They might talk about the Money in the Bank participants going forward in the next 2 weeks on Raw and SmackDown. Probably get Aleister Black in action and Rey Mysterio and Apollo Crews. And then on SmackDown, we got Daniel Bryan and Baron Corbin next week. So they're kind of hyping their side of the Money in the Bank bracket. We're going to get Otis or Dolph going to be the last person in. And then you got Mandy Rose or Carmella being the final participant in the women's side. So they're going to be doing the women's hype 2. Then you got Bayley and Tamina next week. See what happens to that with Sasha getting involved too. There'll probably be something with Bayley and Sasha just continuing their bickering and the eventual split, which might happen by Money in the Bank. I don't think Tamina's going to win the title, but the eventual split will happen after Money in the Bank, leading to whatever happens in June and July. If this is going to be a pay-per-view, I really think they should wait for that match to happen at SummerSlam, because it's a bigger stage than these lesser pay-per-views like Extreme Rules and Payback or whatever the next pay-per-view is. But who knows what's going to happen with that? And then that's that. Then you got the tag team division. Who knows what's going to happen with the Raw tag team titles with the Street Profits? What they're going to do with them? Get NXT with Charlotte Flair and Mia Yim next week, and then Keith Lee and Damian Priest for the North American title. Should be some good stuff on NXT. AEW's got the second round of the TNT Championship Tournament. Cody Rhodes and Darby Allin, and Dustin Rhodes and Lance Archer next week. Should be some good matches. We're going to hear from Jon Moxley next week as well on AEW on Dynamite, where he's going to go from here. What his next challenger could be. Might be MJF, might be somebody else. Who knows? And that's basically that. That's basically what's going to be coming up next week on the programs, I should say. So, should be some good wrestling next week as we end April. We start going into May with some good action, hopefully. SmackDown's going to start May off. Let's start off May. So that's be the first show of May, and then we get the first Monday Night Raw of May on May the May the 4th. Be with you. That'd be interesting. May the 4th edition of Monday Night Raw. Maybe we get some people dressing up as Darth Vader. Maybe we get a Star Wars type episode of Monday Night Raw. That'd be corny. It'd be fun but corny at the same time. So we'll see what happens with that. So next couple weeks of wrestling should be interesting. The WWE building up for Money in the Bank on May the 10th. AEW building up to Double or Nothing on May the 23rd. So we got a couple pay-per-views coming up in May. We don't know what's happening with Impact is having Rebellion Night 2 this week, I think. So we'll see what happens with that. New Japan, we still haven't heard anything about them coming back. Ring of Honor is not coming back anytime soon. CZW is kind of hit and miss right now, but I think they're kind of shut down as well. And all the indie shows, indie companies around the country are done. They shut down for a while. Hopefully come back in the summer. With WOW and that's the only BCW and BWF and all the indie companies in New York and New Jersey, Creator Pro, Wrestle Pro, stuff like that, in the New York, New Jersey, Long Island area. Hopefully coming back in the summer so we can go see it. And that's that. So we'll see what happens next week on in WWE and AEW land and in Impact land as well. And that's all I got to say about that. So thank you all for watching. I'm going to go to bed because I got to get up early in the morning for work. Should be an exciting day of work. Probably boring as fuck. Hopefully not too busy, even though it's going to be a sunny day. So I'll probably get a lot of people in the store. And I'm going to be there with just my manager tomorrow. So that's going to be fun and exciting. Well, my schedule is going to be changing in the next week and a half because we got I'm covering for the morning girl at my job right now. She took a leave of absence, so she's coming back on Thursday to take back her morning shift. So no more morning shifts after Wednesday. So I don't have to go to bed early on most nights. But who knows what's going to happen? I might still get the morning shift. Or I'm going to get the afternoon to late night shifts back, like my normal schedule back up and running. I'll be working 4 days. Maybe I might scale down to 3, but who knows? I'm going to see what happens. I'm kind of getting burnt out working these morning shifts. But I need the money and need to pay bills and everything else. I'm just waiting for my stimulus check so I can put half away for my vacation, give half to my mom. I also can put half away for the vacation and half away and half to my mom. And then hopefully we get that second check, which I don't know when that's coming in. They said they were going to give us 2 checks. This check, and then probably late in the fall with the next one. And then there's a proposed bill that we might get $2,000 a month from the government. I would love that, but is it going to happen? I don't know. I'm hoping it does. I'd love to get an extra $2,000 from the government. I think everybody would love to get $2,000 a month from the government so they can pay their rent and to pay their bills and get rid of their debt. I would love to get $2,000 a month. I could pay off my debt in maybe a month or two. I take $1,000 out for that. Pay a little. I can get rid of a little bit of my debt on one of my bills. Then the other bill I would completely be done with, and then have a little bit left over for food and stuff. Still working, of course, so I be making a lot of money. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if that $2,000 a month thing even happens, or it was just a myth. Who knows? And that's all I can say about that. So thank you for watching. Once again, 6 out of 10 stars for Smackdown. Wasn't really a good show except for the Triple H segment. That's that. So once again, thanks to Scott and Nick for chiming in and coming into the chat. Hopefully, my Raw review will get more people. But send out the link to Facebook and Twitter when I put it up. Send it out to your friends on Facebook and your friends on Twitter and Instagram or Google Plus or wherever. Share the video on YouTube and everywhere else. And yeah, that's pretty much all I gotta say about that. So thank you for watching, everybody. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace and rock on. And if you're not down with that, fuck you, man. Bye.